Welcome to Defeated Tragedy to Triumph. Y'all know the gentleman to my right, Jeff Deskovic. He's right here. He's back. He's a man of his word. Part 2. All right. Jeff, how you been, brother? How you been?
I'm great. How are you? So happy to be back again with you over here.
Yes, definitely, man. So I understand. First of all, you introduced me to a great woman, Leslie Robinson. All right. When we was, I believe it was witness to mass.
Witness to mass incarceration. Hosted an event, and there was approximately 20 to 30 vendors, all formerly incarcerated people, who had started businesses and offering products and services. Yes.
Right. So, and we had Leslie on the show. And I just need you to follow up on it, on what you guys put together furtherwise as Recharge. And I want to expound on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. So, the game here, I'll hold up. So Recharge, Beyond the Bars re-entry game is the name of the game. And, of course, it could be purchased on, rechargethegame.com. So as Leslie mentioned, I did invest in the game. I have zero credit for any of the creative content. That's all Leslie and the people she consulted with. Mm-hmm. But it was, I know a quality product when I see one, and I use this with my friends and family. Mm-hmm. And so I did invest it as a way of giving back to the, formerly incarcerated population. I mean, I did benefit myself while I was incarcerated with other prisoners, and also who later on were released on parole. And really, it's hard to communicate with friends and family that have not been incarcerated, hard to build back those bonds. And I struggled with that for many years. And when I played Recharge, when Leslie brought me a prototype, not only did I like the game, but I used it a lot with my friends and family. And so I wanted to help make it available to other people. So I invested in it so it could be more of the game could be purchased, inventory, getting it out to people. Mm-hmm. And what I love about Leslie, Leslie is a pleasure to work with, and she likes to push other people as well. It's not just about herself. And so, and she really believes in the mission that I'm doing as far as, freeing wrongfully convicted people and my foundation. And so one of the agreements that we made, really, as she suggested as well, is a quote. There's a quote from me on the box. On the box of each one of the games, it says, "The formerly incarcerated and all who play this game will bond, laugh, and heal." So that's nice. That's my name underneath it. And at the time, I just had the master's degree. So I'm really liking that as well. And then also on the inside.
Yeah, take your time.
Bring it up.
The camera.
On the inside of the tin is a long statement from me, just stating that I'm proud to partner with the creator of Recharge Beyond the Bars re-entry game. Man. And, I explained my rationale why, and, how I so wished I had this tool when I was initially released, but that nonetheless it's around now. And so it has this here. So, my name does get around some, and, that makes it.
Jeff Deskovic, y'all. Y'all hear me?
So really, building a little bit, I did see the interview with Leslie, and just to build a little bit off of, the point she really eloquently stated, while we both believe a lot in therapy, at the same time, therapy can be expensive. It's not accessible to just everybody. Mm-hmm. And really the game has a lot of therapeutic qualities to it, insofar as it promotes healing and sharing of things that are suppressed, sometimes often beyond the grasp of the people who are talking. If you weren't prompted by some of the questions, you wouldn't necessarily come up with those answers or be in touch with yourself. So really, this is a way of making, healing to be accessible for people who might not otherwise be able to afford therapy sessions.
Okay.
Yeah, and my favorite part of the game here, we have the appreciation chips. So everybody gets 7 chips. Okay. And what happens is, so Wise, let's say if you and I were playing the game and I was feeling the answer you gave, that you really put some effort and you went deep, you put something into that answer. Right. I can validate you by giving you a chip or several chips, however many that I want. Mm-hmm. And so, that's what the appreciation chip aspect of it is. And, Leslie had spoke about the gear questions, which only formerly incarcerated people would answer, though everybody can reply to those responses. And she mentioned the general questions, which don't have a symbol. A third variety of questions has a puzzle piece to it, and that indicates it's a group activity. And sometimes those things involve a little bit of drawing. So hence Recharge, coming with the coming with the pad and the pencil. So in other words, everything that's needed to play with Recharge is completely self-contained. So, I believe in Recharge. I know, and I use it myself, quite a bit, and I encourage people to, to check it out. And I am a former incarcerated person. I was exonerated, but nonetheless, I was incarcerated, and so, like I said, it's my way of giving back and bringing a helpful product, out.
I don't mean to cut you off. For the audience, how long you did, Jeff, again?
Sure. So in case you didn't see the first episode, definitely after this one, go back and watch that because,
Right.
all of these episodes really are very, very meaningful, which is why I love being associated with you and coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff.
But quickly, by way of background, I did serve 16 years wrongfully from age 17 to 32 for murder and rape, which I did not commit. DNA ultimately exonerated me 14 years ago, and now I'm not just an advocate, but I am an attorney as well, and I have the Jeffrey Deskovic Foundation for Justice, a nonprofit organization that frees wrongfully convicted people. And so far, we've been fortunate to be able to free 11 people. We helped pass 3 laws. I'm part of a coalition group. It could happen to you. We passed another 5 laws, and we're doing policy work really in New York, Pennsylvania, and California. So that's all. And this really, Recharge is really a natural extension of all that advocacy work because it's all tied together because it's all part of criminal justice reform.
Jeff, oh man, electric, the energy that you bring is beautiful. I mean, nobody would never know that you've been through this. All right, and I love having you come by. I need you to come by some more.
I'm here. Do you know how to reach me? It's a phone call away.
I know you ping-ponging. All right,
yes.
I know you doing what you got to do, but you're always welcome here. All right, guys, y'all need ladies, gentlemen, families, Recharge.
Beyond the Bars re-entry game, which is available for purchase at rechargethegame.com. So just to give you everybody a quick update, just on what I've been up to since last episode.
Good.
So we were in fact able to repass the groundbreaking legislation. Commission on Prosecutor Conduct was repassed in New York and signed into law. So now there is in fact an independent oversight body that will be able to investigate allegations of prosecutorial misconduct. So that's an accomplishment since my last appearance. I have entered some cases as co-counsel. In one of those cases, Carolyn Warmer's case, famous case in Westchester, I entered the case as co-counsel, and I was able to persuade the Westchester District Attorney's Office to allow our client to have DNA testing so that we can establish once and for all from a scientific point of view. Obviously, as her attorney, I believe in her innocence. Obviously, the prosecution thinks otherwise. But the main point is let's have the testing. Can we get at the bottom line truth from a scientific basis? So really that is
before you serve 20 to 30 years.
Yeah, right. Ideally before that, but she already served 27. She's home now, but we're trying to exonerate her. She still wants to get her name cleared, and so I was able to help her get DNA testing. So we're waiting for the items to be tested. So that's an achievement.
Okay, that's that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally, I mean, they were about to have to litigate that until I entered the case and was able to persuade them. I mean, that was the fact they agreed to the testing on the eve of when it was going to be argued in court. So really,
Jeff,
this should never.
Man, you're making moves, man.
Thank you. Yeah. So there's that upcoming trip to Pennsylvania. Just continuing to build support in Pennsylvania legislature. PA is one of 14 states that does not offer exoneree compensation. So working on that. In fact, I have a trip coming up to Pennsylvania with that, and also have a trip coming up in California. Again, to have passed the Commission on Prosecutor Conduct, that's the goal out there. I recently made a lot of appearances at the close of the legislative cycle. We came this close-wise to passing parole reform. So the bill called Fair and Timely Parole got all the way to the end. We were just short of getting a general vote both in the Senate and the Assembly. Same thing as to elder parole. So in a nutshell, the Fair and Timely Parole would force the parole commissioners, if they're going to deny parole, it would force them to come up with a reason why they're denying parole, other than saying, well, you were convicted of other than saying nature of the crime, other than saying, well, by definition, you robbed somebody, by definition, you killed somebody, so we're not releasing you. No, the parole board's supposed to evaluate rehabilitation
Okay.
as measured by disciplinary, as measured by completion of vocational programs and therapeutic programs. So that bill would force the board to give an additional reason.
job, great.
So we came close. We pushed the bill, and we're going to be doing it again this next cycle. But I did work a lot with RAP, releasing aging people in prison on that, and its companion bill, which was called elder parole. So during my 16 years of wrongful incarceration, as I mentioned last time, dirty secret that medical care is terrible in prison, particularly inept at dealing with the advanced geriatric needs of elder prisoners. So elder parole would guarantee that anybody who is 55 years old who also served 15 years in prison would be guaranteed simply a parole board appearance, an opportunity to be considered for possible release, not automatic release.
Right.
You know, in view of the fact that some people age out of crime, some people commit crimes when they're young, they're spontaneous, they're more susceptible to peer pressure, they're not as mature, they don't understand the implications of the decision. So if you've done 15 years already, you know, or more, you know, I think that you should be given an opportunity to just simply be considered. Just to be considered for parole. I mean, no one's saying that people should get away with crimes. Okay, what we're saying is that we need to recognize rehabilitation, and when you do become old and you've served significant time, you know, you're really not the same person as you were 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. Right. So that's what that is. Just trying to bring a little bit more humanity. So, you know, being involved in that campaign was something that I've done since last appearance, and so we're going to be gearing up to try to repass that legislation as as well. And maybe the last thing I'll just mention, you know, I'm about to, when I do go to Sacramento on the 8th, the Davis Vanguard in California, they're giving me their wrongful conviction award, so I'm going to be flying out to get that. So, you know, I feel really humbled and happy to get my, you know, wrongful conviction advocacy work recognized in a state other than New York. So, you know, that's what it's about. You know, I've been doing a lot of media interviews as well. But look, at the end of the day, here's the bottom line, you know, is that, you know, I'm a tool in the struggle. My head, as I sit here, you know, it doesn't break my neck. It's the right size. My feet's firmly on the ground. I'm just a tool in the struggle trying to make a difference. It's not about me for me, because at the end of the day, I'm home. I'm free. Right. I doubt very seriously I would ever be incarcerated anymore. So it's not about me. It's really about the men and women I metaphorically left behind, and trying to make the justice system live up to its ideals, to be as fair, to be as just as I possibly can. And, you know, that's me. That's my purpose in the world, and it's healing and cathartic for me. And so that's who I am. And
that's what's up.
Thanks for letting me come on once again.
Y'all hear it. Y'all heard it right here. Jeff Deskovic, he came, gave you the knowledge, let you know what he's doing, how far he came, and what he's doing now. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the hood. Cleanse that blood, man. Come on up. Tell your story. All right. 6 p.m. Tune in. All right. Defeated Tragedy to Triumph. YouTube. Thank you, Jeff.
Sorry, I defeated Tragedy to Triumph.
My man. Leslie Robinson. Great job, man. Great job, you guys, man, with this. All right. Say it again now. Product? Okay,
yeah. Once again, you know, this tool here is called Recharge Beyond the Bars Reentry Game. Can be purchased online, rechargethegame.com, and as the quote on the box with my name underneath it says, okay, the formerly incarcerated and all who play this game will bond, laugh, and heal, and we need more of that.
Yes, you do. All right. Tune in 6 p.m. Sundays. Y'all gonna hear it right here. Okay? Thank you.